All right, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that bell button for notification. Also, give this video a thumbs up so they can appear on more places on YouTube. So today, I want to speak in your hearing about the wisdom of separation. Now, when you separate from individuals that you see that you have become too common with, it's a great deal of wisdom in that move, in that action, all right? And it can pay by individuals having a great deal of respect for you. It can pay by your words carrying a greater level of weight. It can also pay by you not getting boggled down with some of the things that go on in other people's lives on a continual basis. So there was a man in the book of Genesis named Enoch. And, you know, it talks about Enoch walked with the Most High, and he was without, he was taken away. But we don't hear a lot of extra words or a lot of extra things as it pertains to Enoch in the Bible. It goes over to the book of Jude at the end of the book, end of the Bible. It says that Enoch, you know, he prophesied of the Most High having tens of thousands, and we see that actually written in another book called the book of Enoch. But the life of Enoch, we don't see too much written about that in what we call the Bible. But there is another book that the Bible refers to called the book of Jasher. I highly recommend that you take a look at that book. Some individuals tell you not to read it, but I encourage you to read it on your own, and you make this distinction if you should read it or not. But in the book of Jasher, it talks about Enoch, and it said that he wisely separated himself from the sons of men. So right there in the book of Jasher, it pointed to separation as being a wisdom principle. It's something that we all need to take heed to. Some of these times, so many times in our lives, we have become too common with individuals. You know how it was when an individual, they went 5 or 6 months without seeing you, a year without seeing you, and they went and they ran to meet you. They came and embraced you. They hugged you, kissed you on the cheek if you were a woman. They, you know, showed you all kind of level of affection and things of that nature. And then as they begin to see you on a continual basis, the respect that they have for you, it starts to diminish. That's because you have become too common. All right, so when we go to the book of Proverbs, I believe it's chapter 25 and verse 17, it said to withdraw your foot from your neighbor's house, lest he be so weary of thee and hate thee. The same person that invited you over in the world, they say, rolled out the red carpet to you, right? You know, the individual that's telling you, you know, hey man, listen, if you need anything, just go in my refrigerator. My house is your house. And the same individual that if they see you over there on a continual basis and you over there too much, this is the same individual that's asking you, okay, aren't you about to leave? Don't you got something that you about to be doing? It's because individuals have grown weary of you. They are tired of your presence. And that's something that we don't want to make the mistake of. I made the mistake. I went to a certain, you know, group. I was going to a certain place where I was kind of congregating a little bit here and there. I would drive about 2 hours to go visit these individuals, and I was coming over, you know, often. And when I first started to come, individuals that really embraced me, that really was like, man, they was fixing food for me and everything. And as I began to come more often, you know, I seen that pushback right there. And it wasn't the same. They still had love and still had respect for me, but it wasn't to the utmost. And then another time, someone else came on the same day that I came, and one of the individuals there, they greeted me, but they greeted the other person that was with me with like 10 times more love and respect. The respect that I probably once had before I started showing up all the time. So I'm telling you this, all right? You have individuals, and it's a good thing if you congregate and you meet with a group of people on a weekly basis. Some of you go to a place on the Sabbath day. Some of you go to a place on Sunday, wherever your day of worship is. All right, and you meet with those individuals, that's cool. You meet once a week. But, you know, when you start getting to the point to where individuals, they start seeing you every single day and they do not appreciate you, they do not respect you, they do not value what you have to bring to the table, then that's time for you to start considering taking a step back. All right, it talks about that in the wisdom of Ecclesiasticus. It says to separate yourself from your enemies and take heed of your friends. We have to take heed of our friends as we are separating ourselves from our enemies. You see that Moses, when he was dealing with the children of Israel, the Most High called him to 40 days of separation and isolation. You know, these are one of the meanings of the number 40, right? Separation, isolation. As he began to draw in to the presence of the Most High and spend those days, undivided attention with the Most High, all right, he came back to the people and had to put a veil over his face. Same thing it says in the book of Jasher, Yashar about Enoch. When you begin to spend so much time with the Most High, he will cause your face to glow. He will cause your face to shine. And when individuals approach you after you have distanced yourself from these individuals for an extended period of time, then they're going to have a lot more respect for you. They're going to value your words. The same people that looked at your words as being minuscule, looked at you as not being that much of a servant of the Most High. When you isolate yourself and you are fasting, isolate yourself and you are praying, you are seeking him, you're opening up his word, you're in his book, you're studying, you're reading, you're meditating on his word day and night. When you come back before these people, wisdom of Ecclesiastes said your face will shine. Wisdom causes a man's or a woman's face to shine. The Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, he went up into a set-apart place for 40 days, and he isolated himself. He fasted, he prayed, all right, he was a hunger. But then after that, he was able to go forward in ministry. So there comes a point in time that you have to separate yourself from the individuals who you have become too common with. Yes, you might see these people, on a weekly basis. You might see them a couple times a week. All right, and if the Most High hasn't put this on you yet, I'm not telling you to move prematurely, but you will know it inside of you. You will know the feeling when it's time to you to withdraw. When you see the individuals in the scriptures who are really good at withdrawing from the common people, and I hate to use the word common because, we all are important. We all have a part to play in this, but you have individuals that may have been looked at as common, like, the soldiers in the army. You have other individuals that might have been, shepherds and, individuals working in the field. And then you have these individuals that were the Nabis, the priests. You had the individuals, the Nabis, which was the prophet. Then you had the Kohanim, which was the priest. These individuals were not looked at as common people. And please don't take the word common the wrong way, like I'm trying to look down on anyone. But some of you feel a greater calling on your life. Some of you do not feel like you're just a common person. Some of you feel like you're one of the chosen ones. And you chosen ones out there, there is a need for you to separate yourself from society from time to time. I'm not saying that you have to do it for 40 days. I'm not saying that you have to do it for 21 days, but I'm saying there comes a point in time where you have to separate yourself. Now, 21 days and 40 days, they are supported by scripture and different interpretations, if you will. But when you go to another passage of scripture in the Apocrypha, all right, these were 14 books that were included in the King James Bible. There was a book called Esdras in there, very first book of it. I believe it was second Esdras, where Ezra had to separate himself from the children of Israel, and he had to for 7 days just eat herbs and flowers. And the angel came to him, the Malak came to him and said, separate yourself for 7 more days and I will show you greater things. So there was a wisdom of separation. As he separated himself for 7 more days, greater information was given unto him. Greater revelation was bestowed upon him. But that comes by getting all the noise out of your ears. That comes from you separating yourself from social media. That comes from you not being on Instagram for 3 weeks or for a month. That comes from you not making phone calls all the time. There is a wisdom of separation. And when you separate from individuals for a lengthy period of time, your value is going to increase. They're going to be wondering, did I do anything to offend this person? What's going on? They're going to be trying to figure out what's going on with you. And you just say, hey, listen, I just needed to get some time to myself. And that time is going to be therapeutic. That time is going to be helpful. It's going to help you, get closer to the Most High. And it's going to help you, as the world like to talk about, dealing with your mental health. Sometimes you got to get away from people. Get to a place that's serene. Get to a peaceful place. Get to somewhere where you can go to a wilderness place or a park or go on a vacation. Go somewhere by yourself and just sit back and watch the waves, watch the waves turn. Get you somewhere where you can just hear the Most High and His nature. Isolate yourself. When it talks about Enoch in the book of Jasher, it said that he came among the people 1 time a week. All right, that's what the nice amount of us do right now today, right? We come amongst the people 1 a week. Then it said he went to seeing the people once a year. Now, before he went to this level, he was ruling over the sons of men. He was ruling over them, and he disconnected. So he was in the midst. And this is one of my issues that I had in the past. I've been around individuals. I've been going to fellowships, gatherings, being around people, offering my service, going out of my way to try to help individuals, all this, right? And individuals didn't appreciate it. Not that I was doing what I was doing for them to appreciate it, but they just didn't. But when I withdrew my presence, when I isolated myself for a period of time, the respect level came. So Enoch, he was around the people, and he said he ruled over the sons of man for over 200 years. All right, now whether those 200 years are the same way we calculate time, now that's debatable. But he ruled over the sons of men for a very long period of time. Then he withdrew himself back into a secret chamber, and he got immersed, and he got wrapped up into the instructions of the Most High. You know what the instructions is in Hebrew is Torah. So he got it wrapped up into the Torah of the Most High and the ways of right ruling. And then he was studying and reading and praying so much that the angel said, you need to go back and teach these people what you did learn. So Enoch comes back among the sons of men, and he appears before them one time in a week. And then it turns into one time in a month. And then he withdrew himself and came out one time in a year. And when he came out that one time in a year, it was a proclamation that had to be made. They had to go through the city. They had to go through the towns. And he said, anyone that wants to know the ways of the Most High, let them come out here today. Let them hear the words of Enoch. And Enoch came amongst the sons of men, and he taught them right ruling. He taught them the ways of the Most High. And his value, his word, everything that fell from his mouth. Imagine if you have respect for an individual and you know that you're only going to see this person one time a month. You know that you're only going to see this person one time in a year. When that person opens their mouth up, if you perceive that person to be a wise individual, you're going to be soaking in every single minute of it. All right, and I'm not telling you that any one of us that we need to look at ourselves as if we are Enoch, or that we need to distance ourselves one time a year. But some of us do need to probably separate ourselves from these individuals who we become too accustomed to one time a month. Sometimes they may only need to see you one time a month, or one time every few weeks, and keep things fresh, keep things cool. Because when they get tired of you, they're going to let you know that. And it talks about that, in the book of Ecclesiasticus, where it talks about the upbraiding of a beggar. All right, an individual that's over someone's house too long, and they had to tell that person, hey, look, man, I need you to get up and leave. My brother's coming into town, and he has need for a place to stay. Imagine how that's going to make a person look when they've been sitting back, eating the person's food, drinking in their house, and the wisdom book said they can't even give thanks for doing that because they don't have their own place. All right, so I'm just telling you this today. Do not become too common with individuals. There is a wisdom of separation. I'm going through this period right now myself where individuals, I have to be separated. I have to separate myself from individuals so that I can continue to grow on my walk with the Most High. And for the individuals that value what I have to offer, they are going to come and try to find me. They are going to come and they're going to seek me out. And if you want to seek me out, I'm on YouTube on the Sabbath day at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, or it might be on Wisdom Wednesday night at 9 p.m. That's where individuals can find me. But as far as being able to touch me and feel me and be around me all the time, I've had to withdraw myself because I have become too common. Individuals had to tell me. I was sitting down at a restaurant just a few weeks ago with a brother, and he said, man, listen, he said, when you see these individuals on social media and they're on podcasts and things of that nature, he said, you cannot touch these individuals. You can just see them. And he said, I'm just going to be honest with you. You too common. And this person looked at me and said, man, you are a public figure. And I don't want to look at myself as a public figure. I don't want to look at myself as a person that's really out there or really famous. I just kind of look at myself as just a person low-key, a person that's down to earth. I call myself brother. I don't give myself no fancy titles, none of that, right? But this brother, he from the outside looking in, he said, man, you are a public figure, man. You need to act as if you are, because individuals are watching you. They're paying attention to you. And you just too common. And I had to take that into consideration. And sometimes we need to take heed to what other individuals are telling us, because sometimes we're looking at the screen. If you're inside the picture, you can't see. If you're in the picture, you can't see it from a different vantage point. All right, so do not become too common. If you have become too common, separate yourself. Don't feel bad about it either. Don't feel bad if you're coming around and people seeing you. Now, I understand people at work, they got to see you every single day of the week. That's where you work at, all right? But if you going out with co-members, co-workers, and y'all going out, hanging out, going out to eat and drink and all that type of stuff every single day after work, you got to limit that. You got to cut that down to maybe once a week or maybe not at all. All right, you have individuals who you are fellowshipping with. Yes, I know sometimes we're trying to build greater bonds and unity amongst the brethren. So I do not want to be the person to tell you not to fellowship and continue to fellowship with people who you are in the Bible with, who you're in the Word with, you're studying. All right, but there can come a time where you can be around some of those individuals too often, and they can begin to their respect for you can diminish over time. Because remember that in the multitude of words there lacketh not sin, and he that retains his lips is wise. So the more you hang around the individual, the more you are going to run off at the mouth. And the more that you run off at the mouth, the more that you can, it increases the probability of you saying something that individuals can use against you at a later time. So I pray that this message reaches home. I pray that this be a major increase into you, a barakah, like we say in the Hebrew. And that this can help you on your journey as you continue to move forward in your walk. It is necessary. It is wisdom to separate yourself from individuals. All right, share this video. Let someone else know about the page. Until the next time we see each other again, I say,